Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to share my self-tan routine with you guys. I want to show you guys how I prep my skin before, how I apply it, what products I use, and even how to remove it with products you have at home. If you guys want to hear all the tips I've learned about self-tanning, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is how to prep before you tan. So one of the first things I do is take care of my eyebrows. You don't want to wax or pluck or shave anything after you've tanned because it might remove some of the tanner. I also do my nails because you're not going to want to use nail polish remover for the same reason. It's just going to remove some of the tan, so you want to do those things beforehand. So I'll usually do it the night or the morning before I even tan. Then before I tan, I'll jump in the shower and shave my legs, and I'll also exfoliate my skin. So for my face, normally I'll use an exfoliator. I didn't have one on me, so I just used a washcloth. That'll work. I just use my regular face wash. But I'll pop up on the screen what exfoliator I'll typically use before I tan, because I'm going to go pick one up before the next time, because I do tan my face with the products that I use, and you don't have to. A lot of people don't because you can have sensitive skin. I always recommend testing it on like a small patch of skin like 24 hours beforehand, just to make sure that you don't have like a breakout or doesn't irritate you. For me, the products I use don't bother my skin, and I do have sensitive skin, but this just works for me. So yeah, anyways, I'll exfoliate my face and then I'll exfoliate my body with a sugar scrub. I swear by the Tree Hut brand. Like, I love their products. They come out with new scents all the time and they smell absolutely amazing, and my skin feels so soft. So yeah, next I want to talk to you guys about the products that I use. You can get everything at Ulta. I will leave it all linked down below, including my skincare, the Tree Hut stuff that I use, because it's really so good. But yeah, self-tanner that I use is the St. Tropez. It's a 3-hour one. I love this stuff. It's been the only one that I've ever used, but I've never had an issue with it, and I love the tan that it gives me because it just looks so natural. I kept having people compliment me all the time and asking me if I like went on vacation somewhere because they thought I got a natural tan. So I love how it looks. And I ended up getting a great deal at Ulta because that bottle costs like $45. You get a lot for your money. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not. So anyways, I ended up getting a deal because that bottle itself is $45, but instead I bought the kit for $50, which came with that bottle. Plus they have an in-shower moisturizer you can apply, and it came with the mitt as well. So you get all those products for 50 bucks, and the mitt itself I think costs $6. I have tried other mitts before. I do recommend the St. Tropez one because with that one I haven't had it like seep and get all over my hands, and I haven't had like a streaky application or anything like that. I have tried other ones where it left me streaky and like the tanning products kind of went through the glove and got all over my hands. Now to prevent that, you can put like plastic gloves in your hands before you put the mitt on. That's fine if you want to do that. I didn't. I probably should have this time because I actually did get self-tanner all over my hand right here. Like too much of it, and I didn't blend it out in time. But other than that, like this hand looks fine. Like if you do it right, it's going to be fine. So, and it doesn't really bother me with my hands because like normally it won't turn out streaky, and like I clean and wash my hands so much anyways, your tan is going to fade quicker off your hands than it probably would anywhere else. So yeah, like I told you guys, I do put tanner on my face. So for that application, I have found the best way to do this is I use that e.l.f. foundation buffing brush, and I will use that. Plus I'll use my everyday moisturizer. I'll put that on my face first. Then I'll pump a little bit on the brush and dab it all over my face and then just blend it out. I love doing this. I have not had like streaks all over my face or anything. I really do like to tan my face because I don't wear makeup all the time and I don't want to have to. During the summer, I'm going to develop a little bit of a natural tan on my face anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but I want some color on my face. I don't want to have to wear foundation when I leave the house and have like such a big difference between my body and my face, but that's just me personally. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. But yeah, that's what I do, and I just don't have patches all over my face. Now I will focus more of the product on my cheeks and my forehead. Like I'll do all the outer stuff first, and then I'll like buff what's left on the brush onto like my nose, around my mouth, and all that area, so that way it doesn't like cling there or catch too much of the product in those areas, because it will if you don't do it right. I have had it happen once before, but I did cover it up with foundation that time. Plus, you wash your face so much that your tan will naturally fade a little bit more on your face and your hands. So the e.l.f. foundation brush that I use to apply the tanner to my face, I also use in other areas of my body. I'll use it on my neck, on my collarbone, along my hands and my wrists, and like on the ankles of my feet and everything, or anywhere where I feel like the tanner is clinging and I need to blend it out a little bit, even on my stomach a little bit. I'll usually end up using the brush for that as well. So in case you guys were curious, I would seriously recommend using that brush for those spots, because that's how I end up without any streaks in those areas, or like too much of the tanner like clumping on my wrists. Like, as you'll see, my wrists look totally fine, but that's because I take the brush and end up doing that. Sometimes I'll take a little bit of the tanner and just apply it to the brush and then buff it out in those areas. Then I'll take my Tree Hut body butter and I'll put it in all the places where I'm typically more dry or it'll cling to it. So I honestly will do my shoulders, my collarbones, my hands, my wrists, my elbows, my knees, and my ankles, and on my feet. So I'll put the body butter in all of those places. I don't do it anywhere else in the rest of my body, because I found that if I do, the tan doesn't really like cling to the skin and develop the way that you want it to. It just won't show up that well when you wash it off. So after that, I'll apply it, like I'll just pump out a couple pumps on the mitt, dab it in a couple places, and buff it in. I'll do it in like kind of long circular motions just to quickly buff it in. It does give you a few minutes to work with the product. It doesn't dry too quickly. So you have a few minutes to kind of do that. And I love the color guard on this because you can see everywhere you're applying it so you don't miss any spots. One other thing I purchased while I was at Ulta was the lotion applicator, like for your back. It is really hard to do self tanner on your back, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that it's that easy. It's kind of a little uncomfortable. Luckily, like I said, with this tanner, it's usually pretty easy to blend out and it doesn't come out streaky, thank God. Like I'm telling you, my back looked terrible yesterday when I was done, and I was so worried about how it was gonna look today, but it looks flawlessly tanned. I didn't miss a spot. But I'll typically I'll take that back lotion applicator and I'll slide the glove on the end and then take a hair tie and wrap it so that it holds the glove there in place. And then I'll pump out the lotion and just reach behind me and get the lotion all over my back. Then I'll usually slide the glove off and just kind of reach behind there with my hand and just buff it out as best I can. But yeah, just so I don't miss any spots, I do find that a little bit easier if you guys have to do it by yourself. Of course, if you have a spouse or a friend or someone to help you, have them help you do your back, because it's just so much easier that way. You just don't have to worry. Trust me, I've literally had friends come over just so that they could help me during my tan routine. And it was really funny. Anyways. So yeah, that's my tip about that. So after you apply the tanner, it does look a little weird. You're not gonna wanna go anywhere for a few hours until you wash that stuff off. But it says to leave it on from 1 to 3 hours. I always leave it on the 3-hour mark just because it's like, you know, the tan naturally fades. It lasts about 7 days and it'll naturally fade each day during that time period. So I'll just go with the darkest. So I'll leave it set on my body for 3 hours and just kind of chill and watch TV and play some video games or read a book. And when the time is up, I jump in the shower and just rinse it off. Just rinse it with warm water. You don't want to use any products at this time because it says that the tan is still going to continue to develop for the next 8 hours. So when you first wash it off, it almost looks like you didn't tan. And then I will typically do this before bedtime. So I'll wash that off and then I'll just go to sleep. And in the morning, I'll wake up and do my full on shower routine, go back to using my loofah and everything, like gently, obviously. But at that point, the tan is fully developed and you're fine to go about your day. I do want to tell you guys that when you use tanner, it will dry up your skin a little bit, so you are going to want to moisturize your skin. And it's best to do it anyways, because if you moisturize your skin, it's going to like lock in that tan, so it's going to make your tan last a little bit longer. Now, as far as removing the tan, now during the summer, after a while, when I start to develop a natural tan, I decided not to use the tanner anymore. And I noticed, because I was sweating a lot, because it was hot out all the time, like it was really hot, and I've been working out a lot, that most of my tan had like washed off of me, but there was like kind of some patches. Normally I don't get a lot of patching with this. It normally fades pretty naturally, but when this happens, I was obviously really irritated by it and I wanted to get all the tanner off of me. Now, St. Tropez does sell a self-tan remover. I've never used it before, so I can't really speak on it. I'm assuming it's good because I really like their products, but I don't know for sure. But a way that you can do this just at home with the products that you have is that I took, well, or products, you might not have these products at home, but like whatever, you get what I'm saying. It's just a cheap way to do it. But one way I took off my tan before was I put baby oil all over my body and I let that set for like half hour to an hour or something like that. And then I made this like body scrub out of baking soda and lemon juice, and I just mixed that up and I scrubbed that all over my body and then jumped in the shower and did my normal shower routine, and I used the sugar scrub, and when I got out, all the tan had been removed. So if you're having a hard time getting your tan off, I would suggest doing that. Just give it a try if you want to. Another thing I wanted to talk about was makeup, because I feel like, you know, when I'm tanning all the time, I don't want to buy high-end foundations. I was doing that before, and I literally bought my tan shade and my normal shade. That just gets expensive after a while. I mean, if you're going to be tanning for several weeks, who wants to keep doing that? So what I do is I end up buying drugstore foundations, and I'll buy my tan shade and my normal shade, and as the tan starts to fade, I will start to mix more of my normal shade in. So I'll show you guys like real quick. But normally, like for Makeup Revolution foundation, I'm in the shade F3. For my tan, I got F9, and it looks really nice today. I just have F9 on today because this is the first day of my tan. Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, because this is one of my favorites, and this foundation is like $5 or $6 I think at Walmart. So it's really inexpensive to do it this way. And my normal shade, I'm in 112 Natural Ivory, and my tan shade, this brings me to 128 Warm Nude. So it's definitely a big difference, but I'll usually apply this like my first day of my tan, and then as it starts to fade, I'll mix this in with it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So yeah guys, that's it for my self-tan routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed all the tips I had to share. I hope that they were helpful to you. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.